Welcome back to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Cataclysm Crew, issue 18, Godking Taranis. On the cover, a massive Taranis sits on a throne, lightning crackling at his fingertips. Kneeling at his feet, much smaller, we see the silhouettes of Rascal King, Machina, Flyby, Blue Samurai, and Squire. We turn the page and our story begins.
This issue picks up the second the last one left off. So we are in an open field. There's trees on the outside of it. It's like a clearing in a forest. And the four of you plus Squire, so the four of you being Machina, Rascal King, Flyby, and Blue Samurai, have all kind of crash landed here. What do you do?
I think Amber's gonna get up and look around in a bunch of directions, just kind of frantically going, are we here, or are we in the right place? Time? How do you tell?
Max is looking at his watch, I don't know.
Icy stole my joke.
Nice. That's what you get for DMing me all the jokes you're planning on making.
I mean, as far as you can tell, you might be in the right time, you might not. Who knows? You're definitely not where or when you used to be.
Is there any sign of civilization anywhere?
Yeah, so not immediately around you, but if you got up above the tree line, you might be able to see something.
You know I'm going to try to climb that tree.
Cool. I think you are more than welcome to, within your powers, to climb a tree. So yeah, you make it above the tree line, and far off to one side is a, stepped, mountainy looking thing that looks like a stone city on a hill. And that's the only civilization. There are no, power lines or anything, nothing visible that you can see.
Okay, I'm going to climb back down and share that with the group.
Well, we should go. I can't think of where else he would be. If he's nearby, he would probably be near people.
And practically, we're going to need food and shelter and water. Who knows how long we're going to be stuck here.
I would like to imagine that Max, I don't know if this is something that Max would do, but I like to imagine that Max is checking all of the phones that he has for a Wi-Fi signal.
Oh, actually, Machina's costume is a Wi-Fi hotspot. Does that work here?
There's no cell service, but there's definitely still Wi-Fi. You can't access the internet, but you have a Wi-Fi signal, but it's there's no internet to access, so...
Can we get a pit of Max tapping his phone? He's like, I've got full Wi-Fi, but no internet, and looking up at Machina's costume. Oh.
Water all around and not a drop to drink.
I mean, this does mean we can keep in contact at least.
Within
True.
50 feet, yeah.
Yeah. Also, how much does Flyby know about what's going on? Because she joined us super last minute.
When we first met Flyby, did we call you anything?
I think I was just that girl.
And yeah, the name Flyby was introduced first to this world when the Timekeeper told you all that her name was Flyby.
I love a good time paradox.
So I don't think she actually knows that her superhero name is Flyby yet.
Oh, cool. Max is going to look at her and be like, were you Flyby? The Time Wizard was, I think, talking about you.
I'm sorry, Time Wizard?
Yeah, this guy. I'm going to show the picture.
Yeah, so it's a picture of an old man who doesn't quite look like what you saw, the man who sent you back in time, because he had, de-aged since then. But he looks similar enough that you could be like, oh yeah, that is kind of that guy.
Huh. Okay, Time Wizard.
Yeah, we're trying to get our friend back. There was this skull that showed us our friend trapped in the past, and so we had to go and get him immediately.
So, hold up. We are in the past.
I sure hope so.
I'm going to ride a dinosaur.
Cool. Full panic attack.
Not sure when, but maybe we can figure that out.
All right. Anyone have anything else you want to do in this scene, or do you want to start heading towards the city?
I think Al's going to just start rummaging through trees for food.
You find some fruit. It looks edible. It looks fairly normal.
Can I tell what kind of fruit it is, or is it just a fruity fruit?
It's past fruit. How would you know?
They could have had different fruits.
That's a very valid point.
Is it a chrono pear?
A chrono pear. That's really funny.
So I guess I'll just, whatever fruits I have, I'll just hand one to everybody and then hand a little bit to Squire too.
According to my really quick research, apples, figs, grapes, plums, pomegranates. So I'm going to say, just for the reference sake, you find some pomegranates.
Hell yeah, pomegranates are my favorite fruit.
Wait, we can't eat those in the past. Then we have to stay
We'll
for
be
6 months of the year.
stuck.
Oh shit! Is it fairy rules?
What are fairy rules?
This is more like Hades rules.
So yeah, you got some fruit now, and you're all still in this clearing. Who wants to do something?
I'm leading the way. I'm like trying to. I think I look back and fly by like, which way is it? And then as soon as I know which direction, I'm going that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I point in the right direction. I'm like that way, and I point towards where I saw the thing.
Let's go.
Awesome. You have a pretty easy time walking through the woods. It's not difficult.
The walk, Al would like to point out and be like, what about our clothes? Are we gonna get burned for being witches?
Can we get a panel of Al and Amber looking down at their like costumes that light up, just kind of with this look of, oh yeah.
I think it might be in our best interest to find someone, mug them, and change our outfits.
Or we cannot confront anybody, and we can just steal some clothes off of a clothesline. Because you know what we should do? Not draw attention to ourselves.
I'm stealthy. I could knock out enough people quietly.
We don't know where we are. Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't I do that?
Okay. So how about we just do whichever we find first? If we find people first, we can go with Al's way. And if we find a clothesline, we can go with Flyby's way.
I'd like a panel of Al holding up his hand to Max and like a hopeful high five.
I'll give a tentative high five to that.
Hell yeah.
All right, you have just made it out of the forest, and you step out into the clearing right at the base of the hill. And the first thing you see beyond the gates are like slatted wood, so you can see through them. The first thing you see inside the gate is about a 15-foot tall statue that looks exactly like Alan.
We gotta get a panel of Amber just looking up at this, like in kind of like shock and awe.
And then Max, like, over the shoulder, taking a picture of it.
Excellent. Yeah, you've got this tall statue, and the gates are closed currently. There's no one outside the city. So what do you want to do?
So, Flyby, Al, that's who we're looking for.
Amber's
Noted.
running towards it.
He's less attractive than I imagined.
Amber's definitely like heading towards the statue at the very least a brisk pace, if not a run.
Max probably lags behind a bit and then chases after.
And the statue's on the outside of the gates?
The statue's on the inside, but you can like see it through the slats of the gates. The gates are like individual bars rather than like a wooden wall.
Got it.
I would like to cut open a portal in front of Machina and like stop her for a second
Wow, rude.
and just be like, Machina, we don't know where we are. We should probably wait till nighttime so we can get some different outfits. We don't know what we're going into. We need to take this a bit more planned out.
Actually, that's a good question. What time of day is it?
It's like daytime. It's like mid-afternoon.
Okay, is there anything around beyond the city, like any buildings outside of it?
There's like a small lean-to kind of tent leaning up against a tree outside the city, kind of closest to where you all are. And if you look around, there's actually a couple of those dotting the outsides of the clearing here. They look like they're like shepherds, like where like shepherds sleep when they're grazing their flock.
Fine, okay, we can wait. Do you guys want to check out those tents? Maybe we can find something, clothes, anything?
Yeah, I was going to suggest the same thing.
Maybe there's somebody we can mug.
That sounds good to me.
Cool. So the first tent you get to, there's like probably one outfit inside, like one like toga looking kind of outfit. Mostly just a piece of cloth, but it looks like it's pinned in places to be worn. And then the tent is also like made of a fabric that hypothetically you could like wrap around yourself to get two outfits out of.
Makin is going to take the toga.
Cool.
Is there
Are you
another
taking-
tent within that's close by that we could look for more clothes?
Yep, there's several more. Do you all want to get clothes?
Al can probably just astral project different clothing. Or I guess not astral projecting, but like psychic mind power, like the way he does his suit.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
The next time we see Amber in a panel, she's changed. And I think like the visual for it is, yeah, she's like covered and like clearly dressed in a toga, but it's just pinned in all the wrong places and she has no idea what she's doing.
I'm going to look for clothes in another tent and also a bag for us to put our like contemporary clothes in.
Cool. Were you carrying a backpack when you went to visit?
Yes. Calvin, yes, I always have my backpack because that's where I store my other clothes.
Cool. So yeah, you still got your backpack.
Oh, wait. If Flyby is changing, do we
Yeah.
see the identity?
We definitely do. I think we had a panel of like Flyby stepping out from the woods where she has just changed, and
I take those sunglasses off. Those stupid sunglasses.
and everyone sees that it's not Flyby, it's Lucy. It's shocking, I know.
Who'da thunk?
Hey, we met you before.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Al would say, I knew I recognized you somewhere.
We can talk about this later, and then I'm gonna open my backpack and be like, put your street clothes in here, so that way we can have them for if we can get back.
I do that.
Did Rascal King change?
Did I find clothes that I can change into?
If you wanted to, you could.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You hadn't
And
said
just
so,
for-
but I imagine there's like 3 people in togas and then a raccoon walking into a city.
Can Squire also be wearing a toga?
I want
Sweat
that so
also.
much.
Yeah, yep,
And
absolutely.
also, for like continuity's sake, for like the backpack, because I'm gonna take whatever extra tent material and try to like wrap the backpack in the tent material so it looks like I'm carrying not like a modern backpack.
I was gonna say, since I'm changing my costume to look like your guys' clothes, I could probably change the backpack if I was wearing it. But also, Al doesn't get rid of his street clothes because he would be naked under his psychic projection, and that's not something Al is comfortable with.
So we get like the entire team, including Squire and togas. I'm super into it.
I love that.
Okay, we're changed. Let's go find Alan.
Let's hold off on saving Alan. Calm down. And Al's kind of snapping. We need to do some reconnaissance.
I think after we get the like, let's hold off on saving Alan, we need to do reconnaissance. I think we're actually gonna cut over to Alan. Alan, we're back in the city. It's been a couple weeks since we last saw you with Taranis and the like Lucan and everyone. And in the time that has passed, you have kind of become like a god to the people. And Lucan has explained that at the end of the day today, at dusk, they are throwing a festival in your honor. So we cut in to see you sitting on like a makeshift throne, and there are just like huge banners on either side of you that have been painted to look like you.
Okay.
You're in like a big open like courtyard area, sitting on a raised platform, and there are people just like erecting banners and like tent looking things. There's a pig like or several like boars essentially roasting on fire on like spits on fire. It's just a pretty big festival, and Lucan is sitting next to you, like sitting on the edge of the platform talking to you, and he says, well, it looks like preparations are all ready. You've got a couple hours until the festival starts. Do you have anything you want to accomplish before we, bring in the guest of honor?
Yeah, you can. And I look at Lucan and I'm like, just run it by me again. You can speak clearly with these folk, correct?
I can communicate through their minds. I don't speak their language, but my powers are linguistic, so I can like communicate thought-wise to them.
Alan is going to stand up and kind of pop his neck, and you see the crack, and he looks down at Lucan and he's like, do we have any news from the latest war party?
If you're referring to Tatiana, no, we haven't heard from her, or heard of her. I know she disappeared after you two hung out, and he uses air quotes.
Alan looks at the sky, and you're going to see an overhead shot where he's looking up, and you're going to see his speech bubble, and it's like, she's probably going to be itching for a fight, especially during the festival. We need to keep an eye out for her. Let the guards know that they need to be on patrols and to double up the patrols during the festival.
Khan nods and says, absolutely, I'll have a group of guards do a quick perimeter now just to verify.
Thank you.
He nods, and then he like scampers off pretty quick. And he's like standing near some guards, not talking to them, but just like looking at them. They're looking back at him. And then they nod, and like then there's some like barking in another language, and a group of like 9 or 10 guards like go head towards the gates.
Lucan, I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire for a couple hours. You've got it here?
Lucan nods, and he, as you're walking away, there's a speech bubble that you probably can't hear, but the readers see. Yeah, Mr. Doesn't Want to Be a God is now retiring to his chambers.
At that point, you're going to see lightning strike, and I'm going to vanish, and I'm going to be actually headed to the Cave of Time to see if Tatiana's there.
Cool. I didn't know you could like travel via lightning. That's a fun power that you didn't have before.
Well, you gotta have the god. You gotta make it work.
That works for me. Cool. So you dip out of there, and we get a panel of everyone like looking, and then there's like applause, and then we cut away to the group outside. I think you're like just outside the gates, and you hear applause coming like from inside, and then the gates start to open. What are we doing?
Hide.
Yeah, we should like flatten up against the walls of the city to sort of see what's going on.
I think now that Amber sees that there's like people, she's gonna like go and hide and be like, oh, okay, yeah, there are actually people. We should do that.
Yeah, I want to go hide, but can I send Squire up, like, to climb up to the top of the gate and report back?
Yep. So Squire climbs up, and she looks over the gate, over the wall, just as like about 9 or 10 guards. I'm gonna say 9 guards come out. And they come out of the gate, and then they turn to the left, and you all are like on the right side. So we get a panel of them turning away from you with you all in the background. And they like head off in the opposite direction. And Squire comes back down and is like, guards, spears, stab, stab, pointy, pointy. And like very clearly communicates what you just saw.
I want Max to have like had his back turned to the gate this whole time, and then it's like, okay, it sounds like there's guards with spears, and they're coming this way.
I think we're gonna get a panel of like Machina looks over at Rascal King like what are you doing? But then like looking back at the guards like, oh god, this is gonna be harder than she was anticipating.
I do want to add when I did the lightning strike teleportation thing, whatever the hell it was, the skies around where that happened turned really dark. It happened, and then they brightened back up.
Cool. I think they were a little too close to the like wall at that point to notice. So I don't think they saw that.
But
The
wait, did you say that the guards were going off to the left and we were off to the right?
Yep, they went the other direction from you.
Well, I was gonna say like we should do like the SWAT hand signal for like go 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 go.
Can we just slip in through the gate?
The gate's still open, yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna crawl in.
Yeah, I'm going towards the gate.
Just act like we belong.
Yup.
If you walk with enough confidence, everyone will believe you're there. You're there with a purpose and supposed to be there.
So as you all walk in, it's 4 people and a raccoon. One of the people has spiky white hair, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. But you all walk in, and like people give you some weird looks, but no one's really paying you that much attention. There's a main street running through the city. There's small buildings and like carts of goods and such on either side. And there's like garland and decorations and like hung lanterns all leading up to this like courtyard high above you all, like up a couple steps up near the top of the city.
Does anybody, like, from looking at the people, do people have coin purses or do they have wallets?
It looks like coin purses.
Can I steal one?
Sure. So there's a little old woman walking on the right side of the street. She's bent over, like looking at some apples and pears and such in a cart by a merchant, and her coin purse is on like her hip.
I would like to just hide behind like a corner, cut open a portal, reach in, cut the coin purse, and then grab it and then close the portal so that hopefully she doesn't see it. So I assume that would be unleash your powers, but I don't know. You're the boss.
That sounds like an unleash your powers, yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic. So you slash open the portal and then reach through, and then like lightning, this woman like whips around and grabs you by the wrist, and then just like flips you over.
Oh shit.
And then as she stands up, her like old woman cape and hood like falls off, and you see this long red hair falling. So readers would recognize this figure as Tatiana. She was the like protector villainess of the rival army that had like approached during the Allen one-off back in time. She also has teleportation skills and is like an energy like it does energy absorption. And she smiles and speaks in perfect English. Well, more time travelers. How fun. And then she reaches into her cloak and pulls out this beautiful sword.
As she says that, I would like to open a portal underneath me and then just fall through the portal and land on a roof nearby.
Cool. You dip out of there, and your 3 friends and Squire so your 4 friends are left standing in the street as this woman like pulls her sword on all of them.
Is she like definitely attacking us, or is this kind of like a posturing, just like don't fuck with me, I have a sword?
I think she's posturing right now.
Also, I guess going back, if we were walking through this town, I'm assuming we could hear people talking and could conclude that this language is nothing like English.
Yes,
and so this
absolutely.
is cool. So I think because of that, Amber's definitely gonna like take like a tentative step forward because she does have a sword and kind of go like, were there other time travelers before us?
She looks at you and she laughs and she's like, oh my god, there have been so many.
Was there a guy with red hair and scars, Alan?
Max just points at the statue. That guy?
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing.
Could Al like sneak up behind Tatiana and like poke her on the shoulder and be like, Machina has a thing for Alan?
Yes, you absolutely can. I
Oh
think
my god.
I think we're gonna see the panel of you being like, of Machina being like a guy with red hair, scars, and then we see the panel of Rascal King, Flyby, and Squire all pointing at the statue.
I'd like to point out that as soon as we went into possible battle mode, Max definitely has his mask on. And a toga, just with the mask on.
Perfect. And then we get the panel of Blue Samurai tapping her on the shoulder. And she kind of like, she doesn't bring the sword up in a way that's going to like slash you open, but it's like very clearly like, you just snuck up on someone who has a sword. If you actually startled me, I could have killed you. Like the sword like brushes your cheek. And she's like, wow, these are characters here, aren't they?
As I could I have a panel of like Al glancing at her sword and then glancing down at his own, like pointed into her stomach? I want to act tough too.
Yeah, I think she kind of like laughs and then she teleports to like the middle of the street. And meanwhile, people have started like reacting. People are like taking off running. People are freaking out.
Could I just say out of character, Al is in love with this woman, like totally crushing on this woman.
How obvious is that?
I'm going to make it really obvious by opening a portal below me and then appearing next to her.
I think as you appear next to her, she like wraps a hand around your waist, like an arm around your waist, and she's like, oh, you're fun.
I just imagine a panel of Al blushing really hard.
Yeah, Max gets a bit of a scowl, like looks around, sees people kind of notice. He's like, can we go somewhere more private? We're making a scene.
Also, can Lucy and Machina share a look at what just happened?
Yeah, and then I think she's gonna go and like give Max a side hug.
Thank you, I needed that.
Here for you.
The woman whose name you do not yet know, but the readers know, as Tatiana says, somewhere more private? All right. And then she snaps her fingers, and all of you are no longer in the square. And you all crash land. And it's not as pretty as the previous landing was, like, but you like crash land in this like cave that is pretty dark, but lit by a couple like modern light bulbs. In this cave are like modern things. As she lands, immediately he's like, anyone want a drink? And then pulls aside a rock and like pulls out like some soda and some tab.
Max dusts himself off and kind of glares at her bitch and is like, that was the roughest teleportation I've ever been through. You should get a handle on that.
She looked at you and Cox and I, and she's like, I'm sorry, can you teleport 6 people?
Al is gonna like look at Max and like give him like the finger over his mouth, like the shush, and then be like, that was really cool. I can't teleport like that.
At that moment, you're going to see Alan step out kind of the darkness and be like, so you brought 2 new kids back to the past. Well, kinda. Machina? Max?
I think we definitely need a couple panels of just like the joy on their faces, like, oh my god. And then Amber's absolutely going for like a running hug.
Max tries to hold back out of respect, but no, that's a group hug now. I think Squire's in there too.
Yes.
Al is definitely not.
I'm looking on with a smile because I think this shit's cute.
I mean, we thought he was dead for a few weeks and then found out that he was alive like a few hours ago.
God,
It's
Alan.
rough.
We thought you were dead. Okay, let's leave now. Can we get out the past
Don't
now?
do that to us again. I think actually, like, in the panel, we're, like, talking over each other. Just, like, don't ever do that again. Like, we missed you. We thought you were dead.
Yes.
All he's gonna say is, "What took you so long?"
There was an alien invasion. I jumped inside something's mouth. It's been crazy.
We didn't even know you were back here until a few hours ago. Like, we thought you were dead.
How long have you been here?
It's been a few weeks, and I look at Tatiana and be like, a few weeks, right? Yeah. Time is weird.
Tatiana looks at you and she says, "It's been 24 days, but who's counting?" She turns to you and she's like, "Darling, you gonna introduce me to all your friends?"
I think Alan's gonna shoot her a glance, like, really, and then be like, "This is Machina," pointing at Amber, and he's gonna point at Max and be like, "And this is the Rascal King and his animal companion, Squire." I'm not sure who the other two are.
I think Squire's like on your head and your hair at this point. Oh, yeah, this is Flyby and Al.
Al's just gonna stick his hand out at her, like, in the most awkward way possible.
She takes it and like runs her fingers like up your wrist there.
Lucy's gonna be like fake vomiting, like vomiting in the background, like gross, gross.
Al's melting on the inside, but on the outside, he kind of shivers a little bit, and then he's gonna be like, "Nice to meet you.
She grins this like really bright, vivid smile, and she's like, "Oh, you can call me Tatiana."
So how do we get back?
That's a good question. Apparently, things can land here in this cave from, we believe, multiple dimensions. And, well, we have no idea of how to get back at all. So I guess I became that civilization's god.
Wait, so time is 1-to-1 here. So, Alan, right? You were gone for 24 days, and and all y'all who are from our time, has that amount of time passed in our time?
Yeah, that's how long it's been.
Oh, I'm gonna be behind on so much homework.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm sure you saw on the news when City Hall blew up. That was 24 days ago.
That was you guys. Jesus.
Wait,
yeah, I'm
City
failing my
Hall?
classes.
I blew up City Hall? Oh shit.
Oh, God, you decimated the place.
Oh, yeah, it was a big explosion.
There was no way we could tell you were alive because you exploded the building.
Saber is not happy.
I could imagine. Aliens, though? Did that problem get dealt with?
Yes.
no thanks to you."
Amber's shooting Al a look.
Did the pheromone get released properly?
Yes.
Did it help?
I don't
Yeah.
think we could have done it without it.
I'm watching this like a tennis match.
We would have been fine without it, but it's okay. You tried.
Amber is shooting him another very pointed look.
I think at that moment, Tatiana kind of looks at you all and she's like, "Now, we're all here, and I love this fun little chat that we're having, but darling, you do have a festival you have to get to." And she looks over at Alan.
I'm gonna look at Tatiana and be like, "And you were about to crash it, weren't you?"
She grins and she's like, "I would never go to a party that I wasn't invited to."
I don't believe you. How many troops do you have? And I'm gonna walk kind of beside her. I think that would be piercing the mask. I would
Yeah,
assume yes.
Go ahead and roll to pierce the mask.
I got a 7.
So on a 7 to 9, ask 1.
I think it would be the question would fall under what are you really planning?
She kind of sighs and then looks up at you and she's like, "It's not that everyone is going to be there. It's just like a couple hundred troops. It's not even that big of a deal. There are the tunnels under the city, and we thought we'd like pop out and surprise you all. Nice little like show for your big day."
Max turns to look at Amber and kind of like whispers, "What's going on here? Is Taranis working with the bad guy?"
I think like Amber looks back at him and then just looks between Alan and Tatiana like, okay, wait, what is happening?
Alan turns and looks and says, "She's about to attack my city."
Why?
Tatiana grins and is like, "I mean, there's nothing else to do in this timeline. Might as well."
But wouldn't people die?
I mean, yeah, but oh well.
Alan, why are you hanging out with her?
Yeah, this sounds like the kind of person we should fight.
Al this whole time hasn't heard a word. He's kind of just been staring at Alan and Tatiana like back and forth.
So this entire time, I want to point out that every frame that Alan is in, he's got this almost air of just he's carrying the confidence of a god about him right now. So he's standing as tall as he can, and it's like he looks insanely confident at this moment in time. You know we'll stop you, right?
She grins and she's like, I know you think you'll stop me, but we both know how powerless you are to my charms. And she like comes close to you and like runs a finger down your chest.
Amber's gonna grab his hand.
As Tatiana runs her finger down my chest, it's actually going to spark. It's going to be a...
She takes her finger back and licks it, and she's like, I love that taste.
Do both Amber and Al take a powerful blow here?
I would like a panel of Al like just furious, like if there was such thing as like looks could kill, Alan would have been dead 60 times over.
I love it.
Yeah, Amber's definitely staring daggers into Tatiana. Like, I think it's jealousy, but it's also combined with just she's leading people into battle for no reason other than she's bored.
Oh, Al doesn't even care about that. Al's so pissed at Alan right now. First his name and now his woman. Oh, hell no.
Luce is gonna get in the middle of all this and be like, okay, everyone, let's take a deep breath. No need to get whatever the hell is going on here.
Alan actually kind of steps away and steps outside the cave and turns and goes, bring my team back to my village and give me 30 minutes. You'll have your fight. As he says that, his eyes like really brightly glow. Lightning comes shooting out of it, and then lightning hits him and he vanishes.
Theatrical.
She turns to Machina and she's like, don't you just hate it when he does that?
I'm punching her.
Cool.
Yes!
Roll check to engage.
I love it.
And as she's doing that in that same panel, can we get like a word bubble of Lucy going, Amber, no, and then she gets cut off with the punch.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes! 10! Ha! Suck it!
All right. So on a 10 plus, pick 2.
Okay, so first one is definitely impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition, because fuck her. And, do I want to take something from her or create an opportunity?
I mean, she's got a sword.
Yeah, I'm going to take her sword.
Cool. So tell me what that panel looks like.
So we get a panel of Amber does this like really fake smile at her and then just leans her arm back and gives her a punch that hits her dead on in the eye. There's no way she's gonna walk away without a black eye. While the other hand sneaks under and just yanks the sword out of. I'm supposing she has some sort of scabbard or sheath, and then like steps away like ha. I'm also gonna add that since she did just grab Alan's hand, she's probably got an electrical charge, so that punch definitely had a bit of a shock.
Oh, and we get like sparks going down the sword.
Yes.
So after Amber hits Tatiana, I think Al, in his super dumb puppy love state, is gonna just yell, like let loose at Amber, like, that was not cool, that's so uncalled for. We wouldn't be stuck here if it wasn't for you. What the hell was that?
Is that rolling, or are you using your influence to inflict a condition on her?
You know what? F it. Let's use my influence.
Don't want your influence anyway. I currently have angry, so you can't inflict angry.
I would want to do insecure and or guilty, because she's kind of trapped us here.
Yeah, I think
she's been blindly running it for Alan.
I'm gonna mark guilty.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and like Al is just like livid, like that was fucked up.
I think all Amber is going to shout back is, you didn't have to come.
And I didn't even want to.
I'm gonna look to Max and be like, we should do something about this.
Yeah, how is Tatiana reacting to all this?
She's looking back and like her eye is starting to swell, but she's not like covering it or anything, and she's just grinning. And then she looks up at Max as Max like looks over at her and she's like, God, I love a girl who can throw a good punch.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, how far are we from the town?
Good 2-hour walk, probably.
Al, come with me. Lucy, can you talk to...
Yeah, I got this. Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to leave and talk to Al on the walk home.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes and take the same thing with Amber.
I'm gonna kind of just like, not like in a threat, but like point at like Amber with the sword and be like, "Don't do anything."
Yeah, whatever.
Cool. Let's start with the conversation between Al and Max.
Cool. I think like the next panel that like cuts in a bit into their walk. Is this like through jungle? What's it
Yeah,
look like?
it's through forest.
Al, I know you didn't know Alan, but what's your problem, man?
He's not even that great. He Why does Amber like him so much? He doesn't even seem that cool. I thought I was part of her team. What the hell? Ever since this whole alien garbage, it's all she seems to care about. I thought we were a team, us four. And what is this?
At that point, like Max just stops dead. Like I don't know if Al keeps walking, but Max just stops dead and is like, do you like Amber? Like? Because Max is the most awkward kid ever.
No, but it sucks. I thought we were friends is all. And she doesn't even seem to care.
Yeah, that does suck when that happens.
I think that feels like revealing a vulnerability or weakness.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what the delinquents is.
Neither do I.
I'm excited.
Give them influence over you and ask them who they'd like you to be. Mark potential if you show them that person. If they're a teammate, add a team to the pool no matter what.
Cool. So let's do that. We can either do that in character or out of character. That can be like a communicated with an eye kind of thing, or you could even like say in character what that looks like.
I don't know if this is in character, but like I just imagine the panel would look like Al just sitting down and just putting his hands on his head and like kind of like curling up, you know, and just being like, what even is my point? Like, am I bad guy? What is this meant to be?
Yeah, Max sits down beside Al and like puts his arm around Al's shoulder. It's like, you're not a bad guy. It's just you never got to know Alan. You'll like him if you give him a chance. He's really cool. And like Amber really likes Alan. Kinda like how I want you to really like me.
Al is gonna look up and like look at him and then sigh really heavily and be like, I really hurt you with all that Tatiana stuff, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Al's gonna hug him like really tight and just be like, I'm really sorry. I didn't know.
I think I'm sharing a vulnerability or weakness with that.
I think you are too.
Okay. I'm gonna say, I don't know, I just see you all have these really cool powers. I just feel like I'm the one who shouldn't be here.
Al's gonna look at Max and be like, dude, you seem to belong here more than I do. You're amazing. You and Squire have this bond and you always know what to do. I look up to you sometimes.
Okay, so I mark potential and you get influence over me.
And also you have influence over each other now, which I think you already both did, so you need to shift each other's labels.
I'm moving your danger down and your mundane up.
Okay.
Do you want to accept or reject that?
I'll accept it.
Cool.
I'm gonna move let's do his danger down as well if it can.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, can your superior go up?
Yeah.
Then let's do that.
Yeah, the only thing I have locked is my mundane. I will accept it. Because it does not matter what you said, I would have accepted it right now. Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets and TP Huth, and edited by Anthony Sheets. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. T is the host of Incubator on Air, a new play podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. She can be found at T Huth Playwright on Twitter or TPHuth94 on Instagram. Cataclysm Crew is GM'd by TP Huth. Flyby is played by Jane Barry. You can find her at Jane-Tarzan on Twitter. Rascal King is played by me, Anthony Sheets. Machina is played by Elliot Peterson. She can be found at Elliot Yulin on Instagram. Blue Samurai is played by William Hendry. You can find him on Twitter at RockoutWill321 or on Steam as Cypress_Gronum. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. The music in this issue is Mistake the Getaway by Kevin MacLeod. A link to his website and the license will be in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on iTunes and tell a friend. Word of mouth and 5-star reviews are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out on patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus episodes each month. And thanks for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.